I'm changing the threads here, going from the black to a light green because I'm going to work on the eyes now for this doll face. And I will share the link to where you can purchase this doll face. It's meant to be painted. If you buy the PDF, it tells you how to paint it. But I felt like I couldn't use her design without purchasing it, so I purchased it anyway, even though I'm going to thread paint. I'm not going to paint with regular paint. Honestly, I'm not sure if this is going to work out very well or not, this ideal. But I thought I'd give it a go. See, because I cannot actually see my stitches that well because you have all the design underneath. And I printed it on a water-soluble paper like I always do. You know, I have this water-soluble. This is the paper that I put through my printer, and then I've just laid it on top of my muslin fabric, and then this is water-soluble as well. And I really like this doll face. There's plenty of doll faces out there. You don't have to use this one, but I thought I'd give it a try. Like I said, I'll put the link below. And we'll see after I dissolve the paper if I like how it turns out. I think it would be great if I could just have an outline and do that and do an outline and then dissolve it and iron it. But this is a polyester thread, not a cotton thread. Maybe I could do that if I used a cotton thread to where I could wash it and then iron it afterwards. But I'm a little bit afraid to put too much heat on this embroidery thread. I could probably do it, but because the muslin can get quite wrinkly. And see, I'm really not sure how I want to do this. I'm just kind of going in a circular motion, but I'm really not sure that that's going to work out well. But see, because of the print underneath, I can't really tell how much coverage I'm getting, if it's enough. And maybe I should do more of a satin stitch. I don't really know. I won't know until I undo it. I'm going to trim my thread here and then go over it again. And maybe I should have done a satin stitch in the eyes there. To me, the eyes are the hardest part to get to look good. But it is nice to have, you know, the drawing where it can tell me where to put the light parts. Okay, I'm gonna come up here. And then there's another light part right over here. So I'm gonna kind of do that in the lighter green too. I wanted to do green eyes instead of the blue. Blue eyes are pretty too, but this one I wanted it to have green eyes. Man, I hope this turns out. But if not, then I'm gonna try again and we'll know what doesn't work. Okay, now I'm gonna hop over here. And do the lighter spot on this side. There's a smaller, lighter spot on this side. It's taken me longer to get any embroidery done because I'm afraid to do too much since I've injured my knee. Matter of fact, I haven't done much sewing at all, just a little bit, and I space it out and I take lots of breaks. Okay, now that's it for the green. Now I can switch colors to the darker green. I love having curved scissors. You can get the closer to the bottom of that thread.
You like it?
Okay, here we go with the darker green. Let's hope I can get this to look right. Always check, make sure I have that down in the back. Now for me right now, this is really hard to see just where that blue is. Maybe I can shed some light on it. No, that doesn't really make it better for me. Okay. I think I need to oil my irons. Starting to squeak. My irons get dried out because I just used a scrap piece of muslin with batting in it where I was practicing quilting on my treadle. I used that to cover the foot pedal so that during the winter my treadle wouldn't be so cold on my feet, because it does get cold. But then it can really absorb the oil. I'm going to move away from that a little bit before I cut the string. So it absorbs the oil where it overlaps onto the hinges a little bit. So I get a lot of squeakiness sooner than what I normally would do without having the pad there. But I do like having the pad where my feet don't get quite so cold. I think I'm going to go here first and then go into here. Oh. There we go. Get it right on the spot I want. My husband asked me yesterday, so how much money do you think you're going to get for these dolls? I said, well, I have no idea. And I said, and this one's for me. I think he was shocked. My husband thinks in dollar signs, but not everything that has value is a dollar amount. Sometimes it's the joy of making something, you know? Not that I blame him. I mean, it's important to be able to afford to live. I think every hobby sewist would love to make money from what they sew. I wish you all the success if you're trying to make a living sewing. And I admit that I do want to make money with what I do, but it doesn't guarantee that I will. You're going to hear my boys talking in the background. Both of my boys are home. Not my oldest. My oldest one lives in Los Angeles. Sometimes he stays with us when he's doing a music gig. here or if he's helping my husband out. But my 18-year-old and my 17-year-old is home. Okay. Oop, I didn't want to go down there. I did tighten my bobbin tension from when I did the pupils on this and the eyelashes, because I think I've got too much bobbin thread coming up, but you know, I'm not sure if that's the paper or the bobbin thread, so I may have to take some black marker, some black permanent marker, and darken the pupils. Because I feel like the eyebrows did okay. And the white did okay because obviously my bobbin thread is white and then the other white, so you can't really tell. Which is why some people like to match the bobbin thread and the top thread. I'm starting to think it just might be worth it for me to do that. Just most embroidery, like if you buy commercial embroidered pieces, you'll notice that the bottom thread is white. Okay, let's see how this goes. Now I have to work on the lips. Now I do wonder about how this has shading on it, and whether or not I should use thread colors to try to shade that, because this brown where I did the nostrils, I'm not sure it's going to be enough. I think I will come back with my brown and make this a little bit larger and a little bit curved more this way. And I think that I will not do any of the coloring here or here. And now so the next part I will do will be the lips. I'm going to add a little bit lighter color in here and in here, and then come back with a darker color. So using these two colors. My birds are trying to sing. The little parakeet is anyway. My other bird is an African gray, and she'll talk when she feels like it. Okay, let's get this going here. It's kind of a now this is the lighter color. Ooh, my wheel went backwards. It happens sometimes. See, this is an area with the paper. I can't really tell if I should have just done a satin stitch instead of this circular. We're just going to have to wait and see how it turns out and make changes. Okay, now I'm going to come and do like a little bit of a line right along in here. here. Doing it like that just helps you to be able to cut that thread better. See what I mean though about how it kind of blends in with the color of the paper, and then it's hard to tell if you're getting enough coverage. But I can always come back later and go over it again. You know, it's just when you finish it and take it off the hoop, you'd like to be done with it. Again. It's starting to knot up, so we're gonna figure out what's going on underneath. It could be just that I went over it too many times. Trying to get good coverage, and I just may have went over it too much. So we'll switch to the next color, and I'll also look underneath my hoop. I'll show you underneath my hoop because I wanted to point out something. Let's see if you can. And I bet it's all knotted. Not too terribly bad. Got lucky. I don't know if you can see that white thread. It's so hard to see. But I do come back and I turn it every time I switch threads. I turn it over and I come back and clip all the white threads. Just anytime you can have all your threads trimmed, it makes it easier to do a smooth job. Okay, so we're gonna pull up the bobbin thread. I'm gonna put corner. Trim these threads. I kind of like how the eyes turned out if the white it just isn't pulled through too much. I don't want to pull my bobbin thread too tight because then you end up with it breaking on you all the time. Seems like the sound of my treadle brings out the chipper in my little parakeet. Though it's a beautiful sunny day here, and I think that's part of the reason too. But she's just kind of chipper. I have the ragdoll body pattern from the same place where I got the PDF for this face for painting it. Okay. I don't ever plan to give away the first of a pattern to somebody, because I know good and well it's not gonna be the quality I'd want to give away. Because you always learn, you know, and want to make improvements. I like to give the people the best that I can give them. So this is the learning experience. Like, how is the blend of colors going to come, and should I do satin stitch or straight stitch or round stitch? How much coverage do I need? Should I outline it? Shouldn't I outline it? You know? Should I outline it with the brown, or should I outline it with the color that I'm doing the lips? And the only way to know is to try and see how it's going to look. Oftentimes people will ask if they can buy my first one, and they don't understand why I don't want to. Well, it's because I want to give you the one that I do after I've done it a few times. I'm not trying to be selfish or not caring. I want to give you a good one. And as far as charity work, you know, for the orphanage or foster home, or like Samaritan's Purse or something like that, you better believe I want to give them my best. I don't give them the leftover or the broken one. I give them the best. I think it really needs that brown outline, because if this is all red, then, I mean, I don't even think you'd be able to tell that there was two lips there. As if in real life, you put brown around your lips, it might look a little weird if you had red lipstick and then outlined it with brown. Okay, I think we're ready to soak this in some water. And oh no, I wanted to add a little bit more brown to that nose. I have to say, I am really concerned about how that's all gonna look. But, okay, I'm gonna change threads and just elongate this a little bit, and then I'll be done. I think I'm just gonna come back with makeup later and peach that up a little bit. With some blush. And then I will dissolve this paper and come back. I tell you what, I really am nervous though. I'm afraid there's too much white showing, but it is what it is. You know, and the worst that happens is I just have to do this over. And I like doing it, so I don't know why I'm so afraid. Okay, just a little bit more of a curve. Come down and just do a little bit more this way too. Just a little bit, just a few more stitches. And you know, now that I did that one more, I think I ought to come over and just go over this one a little bit just to make it thicker. Okay, That's it. Oh, I hope it turns out